Hi there, it's a beautiful early morning and I'm out in the seaside town of Whitby to try and photograph some birds. Now you might be able to tell from the sky behind me that the sun's about to rise because it's quite early. It's 5:15 in the morning. But you can also maybe tell I've got my new lens. I've been saying for a while that I might be getting this lens and it's eventually arrived. So it's a 180 to 600mm Z lens, and so it should give me more reach. Now because of its size and weight, I've brought a monopod out this morning as well, just because I don't know how it will handle completely handheld, but I'm going to try it out both ways. And because I'm in a completely new place, I don't know what kind of birds I'm going to see, but come along with me because either way I know that I'm really going to enjoy my photography. I've come down to the cliff edge so you can see behind me the sea, and what is really dominant are the gulls. They're everywhere and you can basically hear them the whole night. They're squawking away to each other. But on the way down from the car park where I've put my car on charge, I've seen a goldfinch, a wood pigeon and some crows as well. So there are quite a few different types of birds about, and the sun has only literally just popped above the horizon. It's not been a particularly spectacular sunrise, so I'm glad I didn't get up to photograph that. And there's a little bit of haze on the horizon, so the sun isn't particularly strong either just yet. Now as it gets up a little bit over that haze on the top of the horizon, it should get a bit brighter and taking photos of birds should be a little bit more easy, because at the moment it's still a little bit dull, even though it doesn't seem so on this video. So I've come a little bit further down the coast and I'm now on the edge of town, so you can see the piers behind me, and on my left hand side is the main old town and the new town is behind the camera. There's quite a lot of birds about, again mainly gulls, but I have seen some wood pigeons. You can maybe hear one not very far away from the camera, and they've been very tame. One's been sitting on the top of one of these benches and there was another one sitting on a fence. So I've got some photographs of that. I'm going to go down onto the piers now. Hopefully I'm going to see some turnstones, because every time I've been I've tended to see them on the pier. I probably won't see them this time because I've got the camera for taking the photographs, but who knows, let's go and have a look. I've come down to the pier, and as soon as I arrived I spotted a white dove. Now I really didn't expect to see that. Maybe it's just something that's been captive from somebody that lives near here, but it was sat down here, so I got that photograph. And then there were quite a few starlings as well. No sign of the turnstones as yet, but I'm going to have a little wander across the pier and see what I can see. The tide at the moment is about as high as it's going to be, but I did know that that was going to happen before I came this week, because I'm here with my wife, and so I tend to do all of my photography before breakfast so that we can spend the rest of the day together. But that's why I checked the tide times, and I knew they were going to be very high, which is why I thought about doing something different and taking photographs of birds, because I can't get access to the beach or any of the usual places that I get to, because there literally is no beach at this time in the morning. So you just have to plan accordingly, but it is worth checking those tide timetables. I've come down onto the beach now. The tide has gone out a little bit and some turnstones have appeared just on the water's edge.
when you take the time to slow down a bit and just come and sit on the beach next to the sea early in the morning, then it's surprising just how many birds you start to see and how relaxing it is. I'm having such a lovely time. This bit of beach at the moment is great because it's just before 7 o'clock and it's also completely cut off because the sea hasn't retreated far enough yet to allow people to start walking across the beach or walking their dogs. So you can't get around the headline behind me or in front of me. You can only access it by coming down a few steps, and so it is completely secluded.
Now there's endless chances of taking photographs of gulls today because they're literally everywhere, but it is still worth taking the time to try and frame the photograph to try and make a good composition. And I've just spotted a gull on one of these railings here on the side of the pier. So what I did was I framed it so that the gull was in focus, and I got this lighthouse just here in the background thrown out of focus, and I think that makes for quite a nice composition. Not a lot of interest here at the end of the pier. There are some gulls on the water, like I said earlier, but they're not particularly spectacular or interesting. They're just sitting on, bobbing about on the top of the water, so not making for great video or photograph. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to walk through the town and we'll see if we see anything there. Might look at the other pier, and I may even go up 199 steps. I've reached the top of the 199 steps, and you can see here the Abbey, and just behind me the Church of St Mary that overlooks the town of Whitby. Now, because I'm on the top of the east cliff overlooking the harbour, I've got a great vantage point for taking some photographs of gulls in flight, because there's quite a lot circling around here. So I think this is what I'm going to finish my morning with.
As is usually the case, I was a lot more pleased than I expected with the photos that I took this morning, so I'll leave you with some of my favourite ones now.
I've had a lovely morning here in Whitby. I've probably spent the best part of 3 hours wandering around. Now, I've not seen a huge variety of birds, but I've just finished off the morning taking some photographs of some gulls in flight, and because I'm up here now on this cliff overlooking the other side of the harbour, I've managed to get some photographs of birds with the orange roofs in the background, so it's quite interesting and makes for a slightly different image than having the bird against a plain sky. So I've had a great day today, and as always, I've enjoyed my photography. Now, as always, if you have enjoyed this video, do let me know down below in the comments, or nip over to my Instagram or Vero account, that's at Oakden Photography. Leave me a comment there, and you can also see lots of my photographs. Now, if you like what I do on the channel and want to help support me to make future content out of this, then you can leave that at the gift shop. That's at Teespring. There I've got a range of merchandise on offer, so head off over there because the purchase really does help me out and it's very much appreciated. But you don't have to spend any money at all to support the channel. You can do that simply by clicking like, subscribe and the bell notifications. It really helps me out and it makes sure that you don't miss out on any future content. Watch out for next week's video. That goes live on Sunday. In the meantime, go and check out this video just up here. But all that's left now from beautiful Whitby is to say, stay safe, and I'll see you soon.